Today we've gathered to observe Maundy Thursday. It's a special day in this holiest of weeks in the Christian year that begins the journey to the cross. And I want to remind you why we call it Maundy Thursday. The word Maundy, as you may remember, is from the Latin word mandatum, which means commandment. And on this day we remember that Jesus gave the commandment to his disciples during the Last Supper. We heard just now, I give you a new commandment, Jesus says. Love each other. Just as I have loved you, so also you must love each other. So what does it mean to love each other? How do we respond to this command, this guidance, this encouragement from Jesus? It sounds simple, doesn't it? Just love everyone and everything will be fine. But showing love to others can be challenging. Sometimes people are challenging to deal with, and loving them might seem impossible. And yet for Jesus, didn't say to love only when it's easy or when it's convenient or for those people that we select ourselves. He said to love one another as he loved us. To understand the depth of Jesus' love, let's look at the events that took place during this Last Supper. After dinner or in the middle of the meal, Jesus got up, wrapped a towel around his waist, and began to wash his disciples' feet. Now, this was quite a surprising act for them. Washing someone's feet was a job reserved for the lowest of servants, but here was Jesus, their leader and their teacher, doing this humble task for them. And in doing it, Jesus showed his disciples that true love like he offers, means serving other people, even when it's uncomfortable or challenging. We can also find another example of Jesus' love in his interactions with Judas. Can you imagine what that was like? The disciple who would eventually betray him, the text tells us that he knew who was going to betray him. And even though Jesus knew that Judas was the one who would turn him over to die, he still washed Judas' feet and shared bread and cup with him. This demonstration of Jesus' love shows us that our response to his command is not to just love those who love us back or to those who we feel deserve it. Instead, Jesus showed love even to the one who would hurt him the most. So what would it be like for us to love like this in our lives? How can we show love to others in a practical way? We can follow Jesus' command to love by being kind and respectful to others, even those that we might find a little bit challenging to deal with. Remember, Jesus washed his disciples' feet, even Judas. And in our day-to-day, we might encounter people who we find rude or selfish or hurtful. It can be easy to want to respond in just the same way that we feel that we've been treated, and that's not always nice. But it's easy to do, isn't it? That's how we want to respond. But instead, we can choose to show love and understanding. For example, let's say a classmate or a coworker always seems to be in a lousy mood and tends to lash out at other people. Instead of getting angry or avoiding them altogether, what might it be like to reach out and to offer help? An encouraging word or a word of kindness. Perhaps there's a struggle in their own lives, and an act of kindness could make a real and tangible difference for them. We can follow Jesus' command to love by serving others without expecting anything in return. Jesus washed his disciples' feet without expecting to be praised or thanked. It certainly doesn't show that in the text. In our lives, we might look for opportunities to help other people without being recognized for it or without seeking recognition. Imagine you see someone at the grocery store struggling to carry their bags to their car or perhaps at their door. We might offer to help, expecting nothing in return. We can follow Jesus' command to love by forgiving those who have hurt us. Now, this is one of the most challenging ways to love. It's not easy to forgive someone who's caused us pain, but Jesus did, even with the person who betrayed him. And we too can choose to forgive and work to let go of grudges or resentment that we might hold toward other people. Forgiveness doesn't mean that we forget or that we excuse the wrong that's been done. Instead, it means a choice perhaps for us to release the negative emotions and move forward with love and understanding and perhaps, just perhaps, the chance for reconciliation. Imagine a friend or a family member you've been in an argument with. It might be challenging to let go of that hurt. In fact, sometimes we want to hold on to that for days or weeks or months or maybe even for years. But choosing to forgive and talking through the issue with them can help bring healing to the relationship and build bridges that we might otherwise tear down and help us become more like Christ. We can follow Jesus' command to love by encouraging and supporting those around us. Jesus was a great encourager and supporter of his disciples. We see them always never giving up faith on them, even though they mess up time and time again, and they never seem to get it, do they? We too can show love by being a positive influence, encouraging and speaking words of life and hope, encouragement into the lives of other people. I wonder, do you know someone in your life that's feeling down and discouraged, struggling with something, maybe even today? What would it be like to take time to listen and to offer words of encouragement, to help them see the good in themselves and perhaps in the situation, even when it's difficult? You can powerfully show love by being a source of support and a tangible reminder that God is with them, that God is with us no matter what challenges we might face. We can follow Jesus' command to love by practicing empathy and understanding. Because sometimes the best way to show love is just to genuinely listen, even if you can't solve it, and even if you don't know if you have the right words to say, just trying to be with someone, walking with them no matter what they're going through. Jesus was a master of this. He didn't stay removed from people who had challenges in their life. He went down to be with them, offering compassion to those that surrounded him. When someone shares their feelings or perhaps their struggles with you, we can take time to listen instead of trying to quickly change the subject. Trying to empathize a little bit, what might it be like to be in their situation? Even if we can't solve their problems, we can offer care and understanding. By being a listening ear, we can make a difference. Today, Jesus commanded us to love each other. He said, just as I have loved you, so also you must love each other. By following Jesus' example of humble service, of forgiveness, of encouragement and empathy, we can make a real impact in the lives of others and fulfill his command for us to love. And the good news is that we can do this because Jesus shared the ultimate act of love by giving his life on the cross for us and for the world. And we're called to share this love with others, and it starts with loving those closest to us, our family members, friends, and neighbors. So today we can respond to Jesus' command to love as he loved. Look for opportunities to serve, to forgive, to encourage, and empathize with those around us, whether it's our family or friends, even our strangers or enemies. We can be the living example of Jesus' love and bring light and hope to a world that desperately needs it. May the love of Jesus fill your hearts and all of our lives, that God might guide our actions in this holy week and each day ahead. Amen.